thought we'd make the video in keeping with the style of the game. Dev Update 3, and I've been a busy boy. So there's a bunch of new stuff in. I said I'd try and get a second spell in, which I did, which is this thing. I've done some sound design, which means I'm going to need to go and turn the sound volume like way down, otherwise I'm going to be battling with the sound of crows and people shouting and all kinds of nonsense. So, new spell. The new spell has a primary and a secondary. The primary is this like rapid fire blast that uses a small amount of mana and does a small amount of damage. And the secondary creates a shield, and the shield will form a little barrier that stops enemy projectile attacks, and you can use it to like bump other enemies away from you. I got a little bit lost and sort of did some polish, made some little birds that like fly away because I thought it was cool. The other new additions, apart from Jeff here, who's dead, is 2 new enemies. So they're these 2 guys, the Wraith and the Warlock. And the Warlock, basically, he moves around within an area, which I guess is easy in most things. In easy FPS engine, this is actually kind of hard to do. But he's not like fleeing and chasing, he's just going to strafe around inside of space. And he shoots these skulls at me, which do a lot of damage. You don't want to get hit by them. And that's kind of like the incentive to use your shield, which will block his shots. And the other guy is the Wraith. The Wraith just follows you about, and he has a swingy sword attack, and if it hits you, it does a lot of damage. You can avoid this sword attack even once he's launched it. I did a cool little thing with like a sort of sideways sprite that makes the sword look like it's actually swinging you, even though he's just a 2D sprite. It's kind of cool, it's quite effective. I think it looks pretty good. So that's kind of it for enemies, although there's a lot of new enemy stuff in there, which is cool. And then that's kind of, this map has sort of turned into like a testing ground with a bunch of stuff in it. It's not the real map. So I started moving on to sort of designing what might be like the real map for the game. I've done a bunch of work with like metrics, balancing how far you can jump, all that kind of thing, because I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more challenging. You could previously just fly like forever, which kind of means there's not really any challenge for the player in the game. But I've been working on some other stuff around like how the map actually works. So I don't want it to be that you're like boxed into the map and you're stuck. If I put some little platforms over here and I put some platforms like up around, I don't know, over here-ish, I've made it now so that if I fly off the edge at the bottom of the map, I come back on the top of the map. And kind of because the fog is really thick, you don't really notice the transition. But yeah, I kind of want it to feel like this infinite black void that's just sort of never ending. So it'll keep looping around. I'm going to have to work quite hard to put in some nice landmarks to make it sort of navigable. But yeah, the idea is that like you just keep looping around the map. And the same thing happens vertically. Like if you fall down into the void, you just reappear back at the summoning stones at the start of the map again. That was actually kind of tough because in the engine, like the fog is not distance based. So like anything that's close to you will never be fogged, even if it's vertically quite a long way away from you. So if like the player's down here, right? If I go up like 5 floors and I like make a couple of squares and I play the game, I can look up and I can see them, even though the platform over there is like fogged from just here, like not very far away. Up there, this is still visible, and it's still visible like because it just does distance. It doesn't care about height. It's just left and right, which was kind of a bit of a problem with my falling off the ledge thing, right? Because if you fall off this ledge and look up, you can just see the ledge forever. And so I've kind of created this like fake fog layer. That's using a bunch of transparent layers that you fall through that kind of makes it appear like this gets fogged even as you fall, so it fades out, which is quite nice. I was quite pleased with that. And I've done the same thing again if you get killed. So again, I kind of just want this to be this never-ending void. So if I let this warlock just kill my ass, I'll die, and then I'll reappear at the summoning stones again. I'm really glad that worked. For a second there I thought it wasn't going to. So yeah, a bunch of this kind of stuff. So like this, like I don't want to say non-Euclidean like space, but like this like wrapping around the play area, like your freaking magic Pac-Man, wrapping vertically around the play area, being able to fall off. Bunch of new enemies, which is kind of all coming together, and like the teleporting when you're falling, and then all the sound design, like everything all your weapons have sound now. Every enemy like has little sounds and stuff for all their attacks, which is really cool. It kind of makes it feel more like a space. He's just going to keep shooting magic over there in the distance because he's an angry, angry boy. I'm just going to kill him. So yeah, it's starting to come together. The other thing I did, just because I got bored, is I kind of made a little menu, which I like. And oh, I did the gate. Oh, I did the gate. Let's show the gate. So this is like not even kind of in a proper game level yet. I've just built it, so it's kind of ready to go when I get to it. So I have the boss door, right, which is going to be like a key kind of part of the game, and I'm going to put in a few of these like crystal things. So is this going to work? No, wait. Oh, we're doing it on the fly. This is crazy. This is unplanned, unscripted. We're in uncharted territory. I don't mean Naughty Dog's game either. I mean like my game. I just haven't really planned what I'm doing. Cool. Let's delete that. Delete that. Make a really quick, probably crappy corridor like that. All right. So cool. That's going to work. That's fine. Look, yay. So the idea is you're trying to get through this door. That's the whole point of the game. You're going to go off, you're going to adventure around, and you're going to find these 3 red crystals, which will not be directly outside the door in the actual game. They'll be spread all around the map, and you'll have to adventure around to find them. But you're trying to find them in order to do the dismal incantations at them. Hopefully, yeah, like do this thing where you cause the crystal to break by doing the QTE like it's a David Cage masterpiece. And you'll see that when I do that, one of the crystals goes out on this door. And if I can find all the crystals and I can do the dismal incantations at all of them, I've done another one. And then if I can do this one and break this one, then the door opens, right? And I can go through and there'll be some wicked boss battle with the final necromancer that'll conclude the little game. Yeah, this is cool. It's kind of some smoke and mirrors with how it works. But yeah, making good progress. Oh, I guess also I did the HUD. Like I changed the HUD so it's just like you just see your health and your red bar now for your mana, and you don't have like loads of other crap. So yeah, lots of cool progress. And the other thing I did, which is super boring but is actually really helpful, is I made a production plan. So I have a plan of all the stuff I have to do to make the game just playable, and then all the stuff I have to do to make the game like good. Because as you can see from this, I got lost in stuff that like makes the game feel good, but doesn't actually make it a game that anyone can play. So I'm going to focus for the next few days on just doing all the things that make it a game that you can play from beginning to end, even if it's unpolished and it doesn't have sound and the animations are poo. And then any time that I have left, I will spend making it like feel good and hopefully look good and sound gooder and actually be like a sort of hopefully semi-polished experience. So yeah, I'll throw some more stuff up in a few days, and thank you for watching, and I love you, and I hope that you don't get rained on in the next few days, and that a pigeon gives you an enjoyable but brief interaction in your life. Goodbye. Goodbye. Namaste.